And most damning of all, the Americans have lost virtually all trust in the media. Newspapers 16%, television news 11%. I mean, if you've got a media, though, James, that raids Donald Trump's home but ignores Hillary Clinton, who deleted 33,000 emails before government officials could investigate them, more than 2,000 of them classified by the State Department, and the investigation of Hunter Biden by the FBI after 4 years going nowhere, James Allan, how could you possibly trust the media who failed to address that reality?
I think it's even worse than what you said. It's not just they've completely ignored Hillary Clinton and the Hunter Biden saga. We know the Russia collusion sort of scam involved lying to the FISA court. The last two FBI directors have either admitted to lying or to leaks to the media. Nothing happens to them. Meanwhile, you get raids, almost military-style raids, actually, against Trump, against his lawyer, his one-time lawyer, Giuliani, against his associate, Roger Stone. I'm missing one. And you don't see any raids against any Democrat for anything. And after a while, it doesn't look like the equal application of justice.
No, that's the right.
And so there's a fair bit of anger in the U.S. And who can blame them, really?
And there's anger here too. I mean, basically, you're saying roll all these institutions together, and America's trust in them has sunk to 27%. And as you say, it's a Gallup poll, and they lean left. Now, yeah, they lean left. Now, nowhere was this more obvious.
They oversample Democrats. They oversample Democrats. Everyone knows it.
That's right. Now, nowhere, and you and I have talked about this before, nowhere was this more obvious than in coronavirus, whereas you say, and I quote, Professor Gupta at Oxford University, with a distinguished chair in epidemiology, has a different view on how to respond to COVID, that she sets out with two other world-class epidemiologists, but she was censored, but she was right. I mean, the public are not stupid. They understand this, don't they?
Well, if you look at that great Barrington Declaration that the three of them co-authored, one was from Oxford, Kulldorff, one was from Harvard, Kulldorff, Gupta from Oxford, and Jay Bhattacharya from Stanford. So these are people with credentials that dwarf any of the public health types here in Australia. And they said early on, this is a mistake. We should be focused our protection on the vulnerable, the obese, and everyone else should be left alone. And there's 100 years of data that was the sort of playbook until October, November of 2019. And if you even pointed that out, you're a grandmother killer. You know, even some sensible right-of-center commentators in the Australian were making ridiculous claims in favor of lockdown. I think the epidemiologist from Sweden, Anders Tegnell, should get a Nobel Prize. He won't. But everything he did, you know, the cumulative excess deaths in Sweden are now pretty much the lowest in Europe. So that's from the start of the pandemic till now. You add up all the excess deaths per capita. Everything Sweden's done, you know, they made some mistakes early on in terms of old age homes, but everyone did.
No lockdown.
No lockdown.
No lockdown.
No lockdown.
And
like Florida.
And Australia will soon be worse than Sweden.